Hi dear Scorpios, Happy New Year and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video I'm going to talk about the transits for the year 2024. 2024 is all about work for you guys. Because the North Node is going to be in Aries all year, which means it's going to be in your 6th house all year. The thing about the North Node is that it brings eclipses to that area of your life. And that means in 2024, you're going to be feeling eclipses in your house of work and your house of rest. If you remember, for the past year and a half, you experienced eclipses in your house of relationship and your house of self, first and seventh houses. Okay, so there was a lot of activity going on, lots of changes. And so a lot of you might have gotten married, okay? And so now, after all the wedding excitement, this year you're going to focus on more on work, okay? Like how to set up your daily routine, how to be more efficient. Maybe you will be getting a lot of projects at work, okay? And that will require your full focus because that's sixth house stuff. Sixth house is the work that we do every day. It's our routine, okay? It's the people we work with, co-workers. And so that's where you will be experiencing the eclipses, and in your house of rest as well, isolated 12th house. So you will be balancing between those two. You're still gonna have Jupiter in your relationship house. So 2024 is not about is not completely not about relationships. You will have the planet of expansion and luck in your house of relationships. The first half, the first half of 2024. And also, the thing about that Jupiter in Taurus is that it's going to be conjunct Uranus in your relationship house in late April in 2024. And that's a major conjunction. It's very exciting. It has an element of surprise because of Uranus. And Jupiter is expansion. So, like, it might... it gives the energy of, like, sudden windfall. I mean, obviously not everybody's going to win the lottery, right? But still, it means that since it's in your relationship house, your partner might experience some sudden, like a good thing happening in their life. I don't know, some sudden work opportunity that will affect you too. Maybe you will have to move with your partner to their new job and stuff. Relocation. I mean, that's one of the possible examples. Another one might be that your partner gets a promotion and starts making more money, and that affects you too as well, right? Because you live together. So it's that kind of like surprised blessing. Yeah, that's the energy of Uranus and Jupiter conjunction in your relationship house in late April. And now let's talk about the next major thing of 2024. And that is Pluto in Aquarius. And Pluto is your ruling planet, dear Scorpios. So when it changes signs, it's a big event. Think of it in this way, like the world is a stage, right? And Pluto is stuff that decorates most of the background on that stage. It kind of like dictates the theme of the decade, I guess, or whatever. Because Pluto is a generational planet. It spends a long time in a sign. For example, right now it's in Capricorn. It's been in there for 15 years, since 2008. And now in 2024, it's going to change signs. It's going to move from Capricorn to Aquarius. I mean, we already experienced this transit briefly in the spring of 2023. Pluto spent a couple of months in Aquarius, but then it retrograded back into Capricorn. I mean, it will kind of do the same in 2024, but in 2024, it will finally settle in Aquarius for good. Okay, so at the very beginning of the year, on January 20th, Pluto is going to enter Aquarius and stay in there until September 1st. Because on September 1st, it's going to retrograde back into Capricorn for the last time for a couple of months. And then on November 19th, 2024, it's going to enter Aquarius until January 18th, 2044. 20 years from now. Yes, it's a long time. So, dear Scorpios, what does it mean for you? Aquarius is your 4th house. So that means Pluto is going to enter your fourth house. And what is fourth house? Fourth house is a house of emotional foundations. This is where we feel the most comfortable, or you could say vulnerable in a way, like, because at home we like to feel safe, right? And so fourth house is literally the place we live at. It also rules our parents, our ancestry. It also rules the people we live with, roommates and stuff. Yeah, so the plutonic transformative energy is going to enter that area of your chart. So what does it mean? It might mean that your emotional foundations are going to be transformed in the next 20 years. Like the place you live at will be transformed. Okay, like maybe one of your parents will be going through a major transformative period in their lives, maybe even like an empowering period, because Pluto is about power. So one of your parents might become more powerful in the next 20 years. And the good thing about Pluto is that I probably must have scared you guys saying that Pluto is going to be in there for 20 years. No, it's not going to be like constant turmoil and change in the place you live at for 20 years. No. And the good thing about Pluto is that we feel it only when it's making an exact aspect to something, to a point in our chart. So let's say if you have I don't know, your sun on the 20th degree of Scorpio and have nothing else in Scorpio until that degree, then it means Pluto is not going to bother you until it reaches the 20th degree of Aquarius. That's when it's going to make a square to your sun. But otherwise, other Scorpios who are in the early degrees of Scorpio, then you are going to feel the square to your sun from Pluto. And I'm going to be honest, it's gonna feel like you're overpowered almost. It's like, I imagine this. The ground is here, right? Your head and some boot. Like Pluto's boot is gonna force you like this. Like I experienced this transit, Pluto square Sun, recently. And I'm telling you, like I was sick 2 times when Pluto was squaring it, like in the spring when it first squared, and now recently it's squaring my sun right now, and I had the nastiest flu. And also over the summer it squared my sun as well, and that's where I felt very powerless. Like I felt very powerless. But at the same time, I started this YouTube channel. And so Pluto square is not always completely bad. Yes, you might feel powerless, but at the same time it's going to force you to express your creativity in a forceful way. For example, I used to be very shy. I'm not someone who has many videos of themselves because I don't like the voice of myself in videos. But because of Pluto square to my sun, I suddenly started posting videos on YouTube. Like, how do you make sense of that? So yes, Pluto transits can do that. So Scorpios, if you have your sun or any planet in the early degrees of Scorpio, you are going to feel this in 2024. Excuse the noise, that's my cat. So another thing I need to mention about Pluto in Aquarius is that when it does change signs, there's going to be a huge shift, like elemental shift, because Pluto is going to leave the Earth sign Capricorn and enter air sign Aquarius. And so it's going to feel like a breath of fresh air, because right now we are burdened with earth energy, too much materialism, too much earthly concerns, okay, too much realism. Too much realism can lead to pessimism. So yes, like right now we have Uranus in Taurus, earth sign, Jupiter in Taurus, earth sign, Pluto in Capricorn, earth sign. So that's a lot. Have you ever tried lifting a bucket full of soil? That stuff is heavy, incredibly heavy. So yes, that's how the energy feels right now. But then when Pluto switches to Aquarius, it's going to feel much lighter. And because Pluto is a generational planet, we're going to feel this ease on the collective level. Okay? So we're going to shift from earthy concerns to more like abstract thinking, scientific thinking, objective thinking, analytical thinking, because air element is associated with the intellect. We will be able to detach ourselves from whatever that is bothering us and find solutions instead of like sitting like this, like, oh my God, what am I gonna do, right? Because that's earth energy. So that's what I needed to mention. And now there is another surprise, not surprise, but like another pleasant thing in 2024, and that is Jupiter entering Gemini. So again, we see the same pattern. Jupiter is going to leave Earth sign Taurus and enter air sign Gemini. So it's like the second planet switching from Earth to air. That's like double ease, okay? And another good thing is that as soon as Jupiter enters Gemini, it's gonna start making a trine aspect to Pluto. So Jupiter is benefic, blessings, right? And Pluto is generational planet. So we're gonna feel the blessings of Jupiter on like a collective level. I really look forward to 2024. And now that Jupiter in Gemini is not gonna be completely smooth, because later on it's gonna make a square to Saturn in Pisces, and that one is gonna feel like a scratch on the record of otherwise good transit of Jupiter in Gemini. So when it does make that square aspect, it's gonna feel like some sort of roadblock, perhaps inner or outer. Okay, it might be something from the outside that forces you to slow down. Yeah, so, but don't worry. Generally, like this transit is optimistic, and as long as you work with Saturn and as long as you cooperate with Saturn, you should be fine. The slowdown caused by Saturn square might even be a disguise, like blessing in disguise that you will understand only later on. Okay, and so, dear Scorpios, Jupiter in Gemini for you, that is your 8th house. Yes, so right now, Jupiter is in your opposite sign in Taurus, right? So your partner's personality is receiving this like expansion boost. And now, when Jupiter switches to Gemini, their pockets are gonna start expanding, because 8th house for you is the second house from your partner's house. So that means your 8th house is your partner's money house. And when Jupiter enters your 8th house, it means Jupiter enters your partner's second house. So their money will start increasing. And so it looks great. Like in the second half of 2024, your partner is gonna be earning more money. Yeah, so in 2024 we don't have Venus eclipse, yay, not eclipse, Venus retrograde, yay, because like our finances and our love life will not be affected by Venus retrograde. We do have another retrograde, and that is Mars retrograde, but thankfully it's gonna start retrograding only at the very, very end of 2024, okay? Like on December 6th, Mars is gonna start retrograding in Leo, and slip back into Cancer, and eventually stop in Cancer on February 23rd, 2025. Yeah, so we don't have to worry about Mars retrograde yet in 2024 until the very end. And what else? So this year we're gonna have 4 eclipses. Okay, 3 of them are gonna be in Aries Libra axis, so your 6th house and 12th house. And then one is going to be in Pisces. We're going to have the first eclipse in Pisces in 18 years, and that's going to be in September. And for you, dear Scorpios, Pisces rules your 5th house. So you're going to get an eclipse in your house of romance, children, creativity, hobbies, leisure. Okay, so that's exciting. After all the work eclipses, you're going to get that fun eclipse. Okay, maybe it will be a great time to go on a vacation. Yeah, in September. And Mercury retrogrades. So this year Mercury is going to be retrograde in fire signs. The thing about Mercury retrograde is that it tends to retrograde in a certain element each year. So for example, in 2023 Mercury retrogrades happened in earth signs, but in 2024 they're going to happen in fire signs. So the first Mercury retrograde in 2024 is going to be in Aries in April. Okay, like entire month of April you can count it off as like Mercury retrograde month, because I include the shadow periods and stuff. And then the second eclipse is going to start in Virgo and then eventually move into Leo in August. Again, I'm going to count the entire month of August as Mercury retrograde month. And then the last eclipse, last Mercury retrograde of 2024 is going to be in Sagittarius. from November 25th until December 15th. Okay, so this is it for 2024, dear Scorpios. We will see two major shifts from earth signs to air signs in terms of Pluto and Jupiter. Okay, this year you will be mostly focused on work. Okay, work and rest, work and rest. But still, you have quite a lot going on in your relationship house, especially in the first half of 2024. Um, I'm curious what that Uranus-Jupiter conjunction is gonna, how that conjunction is gonna play out for you guys. Okay, and so, dear Scorpios, have a wonderful 2024. Okay, I hope the eclipses bring major blessings to your work. Okay, and I hope that Uranus-Jupiter conjunction brings like lots of good news. Thank you for watching.